everyone. In this video, we will be changing a general form of a quadratic equation to its equivalent vertex form or graphing form. And this is the third part. In this part, the value of b is odd. So based on this table that we have right here, we are given the general form. It's in the form y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Again, in the examples that we're going to have, our b is odd. We're going to change it to its equivalent graphing form or vertex form, that is y equals a parentheses x minus h squared plus k, where our h and k here is the vertex of the graph. Now let's take the first example right here. We're supposed to change the given general form of a quadratic equation to its equivalent graphing form or vertex form. So the general form is y equals x squared plus 5x minus 3. So the first step that we're going to do here is to have the constant on the left side of the equation. So I'm just going to go ahead and add 3 to both sides. So that's going to be plus 3 and plus 3. This would enable us to cancel the 3 and the 3 there. So we're left with y plus 3 is equal to x squared plus 5x, because the negative 3 and the 3 was crossed out already. Now, what are we going to do next is we are going to add blanks to both sides. So that would be y plus 3 plus blank is equal to x squared plus 5x plus blank. Now, we are going to determine what value do we put into the blank. Now, we remember that we are supposed to use the coefficient of the x here, which is the b. So we're going to take this, and the thing that we're going to do here is we are going to divide this by 2. So I'm just going to write that down here, divide by 2. So this would come out 5 divided by 2. Since the 2 doesn't go to 5, it will give us a decimal. So we will just keep this as 5 over 2. Now, after we divide this by 2, we are going to square this. So that's the next step right here. So square it. So I'm just going to show the work right here. So that's 5 over 2. Again, we're supposed to square it. So this would give us 5 squared is 25, and then 2 squared is 4. This is the value that we put into the blanks here. So I will put it to both of these blanks. So this would come out 25 over 4 on the first blank, and the other blank right here would also get 25 over 4. Just gonna go ahead and write this equation up on the side right here. Now we can simplify this part right here. We need to add these two here. So then I can go ahead and multiply this by, since they don't have the same denominator, because there's an invisible denominator of 1 here, and this is 4. We need to make their denominators the same. So I'm going to multiply this by 4 over 4. So then this would come out y plus, that's going to be 3 times 4 is 12 over 4. Plus 25 over 4 is equal to, now this side right here, we remember that this is already a perfect square trinomial, which means that we can write this as x, and then the one that we pair up to the x, although you can use the box and diamond for this to simplify it, but I'll give you a trick. The fastest way, since this is a perfect square trinomial, the number that we put beside the x here is the one that we squared. It is this number right here. So that's the one that we put in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and write that's x plus 5 over 2. And then that's a squared, which means that if we are going to use the area model for this to multiply these two, it will come out x squared plus 5x plus 25 over 4. So then we can go ahead and add these two together. So this would come out y plus, that's going to be 12 plus 25 is 37 over 4 is equal to x plus 5 over 2 squared. Since we want the y by itself, because we're supposed to have the graphing form or the vertex form, so then we can go ahead and subtract 37 over 4 from both sides, minus 37 over 4. So we can cross this out. We are left with y is equal to x plus 5 over 2 squared minus 37 over 4. So this is our vertex form of this equation that we have up here. So then we can go ahead and say that the vertex for this equation that we have right there, or for this graph, is negative 5 over 2 and negative 37 over 4. So this is the vertex of this equation that we have right here. So pretty much if we are given this general form, we're not going to be able to determine the vertex just by looking at this. Well, if we have the graphing form or the vertex form, we can just go ahead and say that the HK is actually the vertex. On the side, you will see the graph of these two equations that we have here. Y equals x squared plus 5x minus 3. And y is equal to parentheses x plus 5 over 2 squared minus 37 over 4. You can see that these two equations are actually having the same graph, which means they are sitting on top of each other, which means that they are equivalent. That means they are just the same. And we can also see that the vertex of the graph is actually located on negative 5 over 2, negative 37 over 4. Or if we change that to decimal, that's negative 2.5 and negative 9.25. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. So the first thing that we need to do here is to put this constant to the left side of the equation. So I'm just gonna subtract 1 from both sides, minus 1 here. So we can cross the 1 and the 1 here, and then we are left with y minus 1 equals x squared minus 9x. After we've placed the constant on the left side, we are going to put blanks on both sides. So that would come out. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is to fill this blank in. We remember that this blank will come from the value of the b, which the one that I circled, that's the coefficient of the x. So what are we going to do here is we're going to divide this b by 2 and we're going to square it. I'm just going to show the work down here. Okay, so after we've squared it, we were able to get 81 over 4, and that's the one that we put into the blanks. So this is plus 81 over 4, and this is plus 81 over 4. So then we can go ahead and simplify this equation that we have here. So I'm just going to go ahead and write this equation that we got on this side right here. Okay, so we are going to add these two together. Since they don't have the same denominator, we are going to multiply this by 4 over 4. So this would come out y minus 4 over 4 plus 81 over 4 is equal to, again, remember that this one is already a perfect square trinomial, so that we can go ahead and say that this is actually x, and again, the number that we pair up to the x is this one right here, the one that we squared, that's negative 9 over 2. So I will put that down here, so that is minus 9 over 2, and then that's a squared. So then we can go ahead and add these two together. So this would come out y, negative 4 plus 81 is 77, so that's a positive 77 over 4 is equal to x minus 9 over 2 squared. So then we go ahead and have y by itself here. So we can go ahead and subtract 77 over 4 minus 77 over 4. We can cross this out. So we are left with y is equal to x minus 9 over 2 squared minus 77 over 4. So this is the vertex form or the graphing form of this equation that we have right here. We can say that the vertex for this graph that we have here is actually switch and keep. So that would be 9 over 2 and negative 77 over 4. So this is the vertex of the graph of this equation that we have right here. On the side, you will see the graph of these two equations we have here. Y equals x squared minus 9x plus 1 and y equals x minus 9 over 2 squared minus 77 over 4. We can see that both of these two graphs are actually sitting on top of each other, which means that these two equations are equivalent. That means they are just the same. They just come in different form. The first one is in general form and the second one is in graphing form. And we can also tell that the vertex here is at 9 over 2 and negative 77 over 4. Or if we change that to decimal, that is 4.5 and negative 19.25. Did you get the same answers as this? Good. Perfect. If you found this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!